Hello and welcome. My name is Graham Spencer. Thank you so much for joining me on this video today. This is my final project for one of my courses as a doctoral student at Belmont University. This is my final project for EDL 6720, Quantitative Methods 1. You will see real schools in real places, real situations represented in this case study. However, the data and some scenarios are made up. So thank you for bearing with me for that. It is a part of this course. It is the final project. I hope you stick around after the presentation for some special bonus content. Thank you. Here we go. Hello, my name is Graham Spencer, and I am working for a company that is supporting the Hillsborough County Schools in Florida. Specifically, we are looking at teaching math in Marshall Magnet Middle IB World School. That's a mouthful, I know. Marshall Middle Magnet IB World School does pride itself on being a rigorous, intense school that prepares students for high school and beyond. Not only do they support students' academic growth, their organization, and their preparedness for high school, they give students the chance to earn high school credits through dual credit courses. These are courses that students are able to take in middle school that also give them high school credit. Marshall Middle Magnet IB World School prides itself on the ability to support all of its learners. They do serve a very diverse population made up of students who have families deeply rooted in Plant City, Florida, but also serve a number of migrant families who come in for the winter strawberry harvest and then may migrate to other agricultural communities. So to take a look at the issue, first we must look at the community. IB World School is Marshall Middle Magnet IB World School in Plant City, Florida. Plant City, Florida is home of the winter strawberries. If you've eaten a strawberry in the United States between November and April, chances are it comes from Plant City, Florida. Plant City, Florida is located between Orlando and the Gulf Coast, so about partway between Disney World and Gulf Shores. It is the home of the winter strawberries, and there is a huge community around this berry. There's festivals, there's celebrations. However, there have been recent community concerns growing about crime and violent crime in the Plant City area. There have been a couple of issues that have made national news. And so residents are concerned that the city is becoming more violent. As for Marshall Middle Magnet IB World School, they have received a B or a C ranking over the past 4 to 5 years from the Florida Department of Education. There has been a year in the middle because of the COVID-19 pandemic that no score was issued, but the school has maintained a B to a C on the grading system. So the problem is teaching math. There are math teachers at Marshall Middle that want to teach only dual credit math courses. These math teachers believe that they are most effective and score the highest scores with their students teaching only one level of course, those dual credit courses. They don't think they should have to teach both the dual credit course and the non-dual credit course, and subject course loads should be divided into dual credit and not dual credit. So the the principal wants to know, are these test scores truly better if a teacher only teaches dual credit math courses? And they brought our company in to dive into the research. So we've created these two hypotheses. The null hypothesis says that teaching exclusively dual credit math courses does not affect math FCAT scores. And FCAT is the Florida Comprehensive Testing statewide for students. And the alternative hypothesis is teaching exclusively dual credit math courses does affect math FCAT scores. And for this research, we will be utilizing an alpha score of 0.05 or 0.05. We chose the independent t-test for our method, and that's because we're comparing the two means of the two groups. And these two groups, while they are at the same schools, they are taught by different teachers, and so they are completely independent groups. None of the students took a dual credit math course and a non-dual credit math course in the same year, so the two groups are independent. Additionally, there are different teachers teaching both groups. In order to get ready for our independent samples t-test, we had to check our pre-test checklist. You'll see on the next slide the normal distributions for group 1 and group 2. Not only did the histograms look normal for both, we did run the skewness and kurtosis, and both of those were within the appropriate ranges. The homogeneity variance was 0.194, 194 thousandths, which means it is above 500ths, which means it is a normal amount of variance between the two groups. And we did satisfy the N criterion. The N for each group was 80, so we are clear to proceed. Here you see on the top are histograms for group 1 and group 2, very normal data. Everything looks great, and just to confirm that, we did go ahead, and I'll move myself out of the way here, look at some data for group 1 and group 2. Skewness, kurtosis are well within the range, within the plus and minus 1 range, so everything looks clear and good to go. I'm going to put myself back down here as we go on, just to look at the test of the homogeneity of variances. Again, you see the significance, 0.194, above 500ths, so we are within normal ranges. So we're good to proceed with the independent sample t-test. So looking at this test, once we ran it, we did see that the means were different. Teachers who taught only the dual credit math courses were at a 59.13 mean, whereas teachers who had taught dual credit and non-dual credit courses were at 61.88. That is a negative 2 7/75 difference for the dual-only teachers. The significance, however, was 194 thousandths, which means that difference was not statistically significant. What does this mean? Well, there was a decrease, and as we talk about this, I'm just going to slide myself over here so you can see everything. This means there was a decrease in the mean test scores of teachers who only taught dual credit courses. This initially seems like the exact opposite of what the teachers were expecting, and it was a decrease of 2.75 points. But we do see with the p-value of 194 thousandths that the difference is not significant. So we do fail to reject the null hypotheses, and we reject the alternate hypotheses. There is no statistical difference between teachers who are teaching just dual credit courses and teachers who are teaching dual credit alongside non-dual credit courses. There's no statistical difference in the test scores of their students. What does that mean going forward? Just to wrap it up for everybody, this test did analyze the effect of a single course load on test scores of teachers. In group 1, there were 2 groups that were not randomly assigned. The first group was a teacher who had volunteered to teach only the dual credit courses. And then group 2 was a teacher who taught multiple courses. The 2 groups of students were compared, and the difference of means of those 2 were negative 2.75. So there was a drop in the mean scores of students of teachers who only taught dual credit courses. However, with a p-value of 194 thousandths that is greater than 500ths, it is not statistically significant. So we do fail to reject the null hypothesis, and we reject the hypothesis alternate that said, so all that said, we did not find a statistically significant difference in the means of test scores. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out through email at graham.spencer-orrell@bruins.belmont.edu. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you. All right, if you've stuck around, we do have just a little bit of bonus content. Dr. Wood, this is not included in my presentation, so feel free to stop now. But this is just, rather than having to edit everything super last minute and put this completely separate, just tagging it on to the end of my video. I do have one last slide to share. I hope you enjoy. It is the presentation. Now, this is looking at the quality, design, and delivery of this presentation. Let me tell you, the quality was fantastic. It was well developed over multiple sessions. Nothing about this research, the presentation, or the delivery was rushed. It was well thought out, prepared, and it was actually started the day we got this email. The quality of the presentation itself allowed for concise text on the slides with expanded descriptions verbally from the presenter, and the presenter was very knowledgeable about the case in Plant City. And let me tell you, the presenter has considered taking spring break and to go to the Plant City Strawberry Festival. It looks like a great lineup. We might be able to catch the end of it. I really wish spring break was a week earlier because then we could go for the whole thing. About the design of this presentation, though, let me tell you, the slides were beautiful. The presenter, not so much. He is really mediocre looking, but it's okay. You can always close your eyes. The delivery of this presentation was well-paced, ample speed. The presenters really learned to slow down. Can still slow down a little more, but so far doing a really good job. And the presenter really limited puns throughout. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this bonus content on the presentation. This slide doesn't actually exist. Thank you so much. Once again, I hope you have a wonderful day.